All right, so let's see, is the DXY going to continue the bullish, or is it going to continue to drop all the way down? Because from last month we saw a very nice bullish candlestick from the DXY. So if you look at this very well, if you look at the DXY very well, you will see that on the monthly base, since January, or since December, should be said, since January, this last month is the very first bullish candlestick that we have witnessed so far in the on the chart. And as you can see too, this has already engulfed. It has engulfed so much. It engulfed the previous month candlestick. So what does that signify? Does that signify a bullish for the dollar index, or does it signify a bearish for it? That we do not know yet, but by the end of this, we should be able to see what the price action is going to tell us so far. So on the monthly time frame, the what is it called? The DXY closed with a great deal in July with bullish candlestick, and then on the very first of August, which is the on Friday, and then that was the NFP, and then it also dropped a whole lot. It dropped a whole lot. So let's see what is going to be happening in the previous days to come. So this is for next week, Monday, on the 4th to the 8th of August. So let's see what is happening. As you can see right from here, the DXY has been in a very nice bearish down flow ever since January. DXY has been in this very beautiful downflow without any lower highs being taken so far, except for this current time that the DXY is taking. So let's look at that. So as you can see over here, we had this current very beautiful break of structure, which is right here. I'm just going to be staying so clear to the current ones. So this is it. We have this beautiful one, and then we have this beautiful sweet what is it called, other block at the top over there. So we had a break of structure right here. So the boss is right here, we have the boss over right here, then we have our lower high at the top right there, and then this is the run. So for the run, we need a pullback, and then a move all the way down to continue the downtrend, if that is going to be happening, but on this note, before we can see whether this is an internal pullback, is it an internal pullback, or is it going to break above on the daily time frame? So the daily time frame, we are still in the internal pullback. You should have that in mind, that for the daily pullback, we are still in the what, in the pullback, because this is where the break of structure is. So we should be seeing something like this, something like this, something like this, until we come here, we see a thing like this, then we move on, see it like this, come back, and then we continue all the way down. That is what we are anticipating. But immediately it breaks above this high, we know that the market has already change character. So let's go to 4 hour and see if we can ride with this internal pull, or we can just stay out of this market. So when you go to the 4 hour candlestick, you see that currently that we are already in the what is it called, in the pullback phase of the daily candle, of the daily break. We are already in the pullback phase of the daily break, which is here. This is where the break of structure is, and this is our low. So we have this and this and this and this. So let's see in a zoom out, let's see what we are anticipating. So as you can see, that the market has already made a very beautiful break, eyeball break. The first one came about when we took this this one out when this high was the current high that we made, and then because there was a break of structure here, we took this high out, we came all the way back, and then we continued the move all the way up. So as you can see, the main high on the 4 hour chart, the main high on the 4 hour chart is now breached, is not taken. So you can see that with that, we now have this high over here. That is the current high, because this is the high that caused this break of structure over here. So we were anticipating that we will have this pullback from here, then we move all the way to continue the move. But then what happened? We did not have it in that manner. So we continued the move all the way here and broke this other block. So if this other block is breaking, what I am anticipating, if I want to follow my market strategy, if I want to follow my playbook, what I'm anticipating for this particular pair is that I'm supposed to see after this break of structure here, I'm supposed to see this pull back into the other block of this. Anywhere around here is good for me to continue the buy, and this buy is should be targeting, it should be targeting the daily high that we already have. So it should have, it should be targeting the daily high that we have over here. So this should be targeting this high over here. So the market can just come here and continue all the way up there, or break it as it has broken the 4 hour order block over here. So whatever be the case, this is our market structure for the DXY. So I am anticipating that for the DXY, the market should return to the bullish right from this zone, right from anywhere around this zone. Market should come on Monday to touch in, and then we continue all the way up this way. Now let's look at the GBP USD. The GBP USD is currently also behaving in a very nice form. So as you can see on the daily chart, we have this beautiful trend that the market was giving all the way, this channel, this trend, and then this trend got broken over here. Now after the break, we look for retest before the market continues all the way down. That is what happens. That is what always happens when the market breaks out of a trend line or out of a channel. So right now, we have at the back of our mind that this particular line over here, this particular one over here, should come back and retest the line, then we can continue all the way back up. So with that being in our mind, because we have this head and shoulder, we have this head and shoulder. After the break of the neckline, we always come for retest of the neckline before we move on. That is for those who trade the pattern. But if you trade SMC or trend line or whatsoever, it is virtually all the same thing. So with that being said, let's see what is actually happening here on the daily time frame. So on Friday, when the NFP came, then we saw a very bullish move, a very nice bullish move on the daily chart of the GBP USD. So as you can see, after the break, we are anticipating that this market should go tap here and then continue all the way down. That is what we are currently anticipating for the market. So let's see what the 4 hour has for us before we can conclude. So with the 4 hour already, we have this beautiful movement over here, this beautiful movement, as the market has already gone to break this current high. So we see that the market is supposed to move all the way from here to the top. Yeah, So we need to maintain this order block. This order block needs to be maintained next week. So if the order block is maintained, if this order block is maintained, then it means that the market will fly high. But if there is a break of this order block, then we know that the market will continue all the way down. So that is what actually is happening. And then we know that we need to have in mind, this particular order block that is here in the market, and the touch line as well. So if price is in any of these zones over here, it's a sign that you just sell this market, or you wait for confirmation from the lower time frame and then you sell the market. So one thing we are going to do is that the trend is our friend. So we are not going to be rushing things on Monday. We are going to be waiting for us to see that rejection from these zones. We want to see the rejection from these zones before we can say this market is continuing. Or if the rejection does not come, then we know that this market is moving all the way up. So thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel and make sure that you stay tuned to this channel. Share this video, let it get to others as well. Thank you so much. Bye bye for now.